How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel Tech with KG. Today we're going to be checking out the U8G from Hisense, and this is the 55-inch size. I bought this TV myself to check out, and I can't wait to kind of share all the information that I learned, both good and bad, with you. So first and foremost, I gotta say this is a well-priced TV. It's $8.99 for the 55-inch, and I definitely feel like I'm getting my money's worth with this TV. There is some complaints, but it's mostly good things coming out of this TV, and we're going to get into all of that today in this video. Quickly, let me jump through how easy it was to unbox this TV and set it up. I thought that everything was laid out perfectly clear, and to be honest with you, having all the accessories in just one bag is a great solution to what all the other companies do. Hisense literally has everything in one Ziploc bag in the box, which I appreciate so much because I don't think you need multiple bags for everything that comes with the TV. We all just kind of want it in one bag. Like, let me open it, get the controller, the batteries, the screws, all that stuff in one bag is nice. Also, I really have to give it up to Hisense for including a backlit remote with this TV. And I also like the way that the TV was packaged. It felt like it was well protected so that when you take it home from the store, you don't have to worry too much about how the TV was packaged because Hisense definitely got that covered. So I'm not going to go through settings in this video. I'll probably do a separate video for that just because I feel like there is a couple of things that you must do with this TV, and it would probably make this video way too long. So let me just talk about some of the things that I really like about this TV versus some of the things that I really don't like about this TV. Now, first and foremost, one of the reasons why I wanted to test this TV out is because it was compared so much to the QN90A. And I absolutely love that TV. I thought that TV was fantastic, and it was one of the brightest TVs I've ever tested. Now, I'll say that the U8G feels like it does get pretty bright, but I never felt like it was as bright as the QN90A, but I didn't have them side by side, so I couldn't really tell you that for sure. But it just felt like in real content, in real time gaming, it didn't get as bright as the QN90A. Also felt like the black levels weren't nearly as good as the QN90A, but this isn't a fair comparison. I want you guys to understand that comparing this TV to the QN90A is just not a very fair thing to do. It loses to the QN90A on pretty much everything. This TV gets bright, but it's not a QN90A. It's not going to be on the level of a QN90A. I will say, though, the way that it handles some of the brightness and the way that it does its specular highlights is very impressive. It seems to tackle that a little bit different than the way that Samsung does it. Samsung really focuses on trying to eliminate blooming as much as possible with the QN90A, and I feel like sometimes we're losing details that way. So the way that Samsung and Hisense do it, they're completely different. Hisense will try to give you more detail in those highlights, so that is definitely a plus side for them. So you have to understand, though, with that, you're going to see a lot more blooming. And on movies with the black bars, this is something that I noticed extremely. Black bars on movies on the Hisense U8G were not completely black, and they will not give you that immersive experience in a dark room. So this is something I want you guys to keep in mind and kind of be aware of and understand going into this TV, that you're not going to get those black levels like a higher end Samsung or like a higher end Sony TV. So that's something you really have to know, that you're not going to get those near OLED blacks with this TV. However, it will be very impressive in terms of the black levels for a lot of content. It's just that when it comes to black bars on movies and just things that are really complete black, you're not going to get that level. I'll talk about overall picture quality in just a little bit, but first I need to jump into gaming. And very quickly, I just wanted to remind you, if you guys are new to this channel and you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing. And also, if you like this video, please hit that thumbs up button under the video. Help get this video out to more people on YouTube. Thank you so much. Next up, let's talk about gaming, and here is where we have a complete mixed bag. So now we get to the biggest problem, in my opinion, with this TV, and it's just the inconsistencies that we have with game mode. And it's not all there, it's just not all there. And I'm going to talk about why I feel that is. But first, let's jump into the big issue. And to me, that is inverse ghosting. This is something that is prevalent, and I see it on every game possible. Like on every scene in a game, I will see inverse ghosting just by barely moving my camera. And this is specifically on ports 3 and 4, which are supposed to be the next gen ports, the HDMI 2.1 ports. These are the ports recommended for gaming. Now, if you're just going to play in 60 frames per second, use ports 1 and 2. You won't have this issue. Yeah, so that is the workaround, but it has to be brought up that these ports have that issue because that leads to an incomplete experience. The reason why I say this is because if you're playing a console that allows you to do 120 frames per second at 120 hertz output, you can do that with no inverse ghosting. But the moment you want to play a 60 frames per second title, which let's face it, most games are in 60 frames per second, then you're going to encounter inverse ghosting and you'll have to switch the port to 1 or 2. That could get pretty annoying after a while if this isn't fixed swiftly by Hisense. And that's the thing, it could get fixed pretty quickly, so let's hope that that is the case. I had to deal with this on a Samsung TV last year, and that was fixed pretty quickly, so I have confidence that this is something that Hisense can fix. I also wanted to note that regarding local dimming in gaming, you have it shut completely off for VRR, and for 120 hertz, it seemed like I couldn't get local dimming to work with that either. So I think when it switches into VRR, we get no local dimming, and when it switches into 120 hertz, we get no local dimming, or at least the controls are locked out. Another big issue that I see occurring from time to time is the HDR just doesn't seem to be very accurate, and sometimes it'll clip the whites like really hard at a low level. So I'll set the in-game brightness settings for HDR, and sometimes they're okay, they work just fine. But in other cases, when I play, all of a sudden I get blown out highlights at around 400 nits, and that's very weird. So there seems to be a bug occurring. So far, I haven't tested it a ton on 1 and 2 ports, but ports 1 and 2 don't seem to have this issue. Ports 3 and 4 have this issue, and I see it a lot. I see it happening a lot. It seems to trigger when I go into the HDR setup screen for Xbox. I can get it to trigger there, and sometimes it just triggers on its own automatically. Not sure why. There's definitely something going on with that. Another note on gaming is that they just had Dolby Vision implemented on the Xbox, but currently there is no game mode for Dolby Vision. So playing Dolby Vision on the Xbox on the U8G is really, really unplayable. We're looking at some very, very high input lag, and I do not recommend it at all. So, Hisense, if you can work with Dolby on a game mode for your TV, that would definitely be ideal. I do have more information on Dolby Vision gaming in another video that I did, so please check that out after you're done with this video if you want to know more about Dolby Vision gaming on the Series X. Other than those issues with game mode, the only other complaint that I have about this TV is kind of a uniformity issue. So this could be a panel lottery sort of deal, but man, I felt like the panel that I got was pretty poor, to be honest with you. The grays just had this nasty looking black bar on the middle of the screen, and it was definitely some dirty screen effect I noticed during gameplay. So that was a very off-putting thing. I wasn't very happy with the way that the grays looked on this TV. A lot of uniformity issues there. Also, I felt like the blooming in this TV just looked really bad when it happened. It kind of happened from the corners, and it just didn't have a pleasant look to it at all. And I hope I can demonstrate that in the videos here for you. But this could certainly be a panel issue because it does feel like, well, there might be a little bit of light leakage with this panel as well. And I'm not too impressed with the whole uniformity as a whole. It feels like the corners are a little bit darker. Yeah, overall, maybe I just got a bad panel, so that's something you really want to keep in mind because it could vary from TV to TV, as with any uniformity issues. So yeah, it might seem like I'm pointing out too many negatives here, and maybe it will feel like I'm giving the TV a bad reputation, but that is not the case. I actually love this TV. I think it's a great mid-tier TV, and if you're looking for something for your living room or even your bedroom, this TV could probably fill that void. I really like the colors out of the box. They seem pretty good for the most part. The brightness level just was very impressive. The local dimming algorithm seemed pretty good for the most part. Yeah, there's a little bit of blooming here and there, but what can you really expect for $8.99? And for the most part, I didn't see too much issues with local dimming other than a few instances of blooming here and there. So I think most people will love this TV as long as you're not expecting something that can compete with an OLED or something that's going to compete with a high level LCD TV. I was impressed with it. It has Dolby Vision. Really quickly, I just want to say that the Dolby Vision custom mode is the best mode for me personally for Dolby Vision. I don't know if it's going to be the same for you, but I did find it to be a more flexible mode. I also like that you could use the film motion setting on this. And to me, the film motion setting was the best motion setting for movies and TV shows. I felt like the standard motion sometimes had some judder here and there, and I just really noticed some stuttering. So I wouldn't use the standard mode if you're sensitive to that, and it'll be very noticeable to be honest with you. Film was a lot better. So overall, I would say the biggest pro to this TV is the price tag. And the second biggest pro is going to be the way that the highlights just punch you in the face. They are so nice looking. When you are met with the highlight detail and the specular highlights of this TV, you'll be very impressed and you'll think that it is a higher end TV. It's something that should cost a lot more money for the picture quality that it delivers. And really crisp image, really nice. It might not be as clear as, say, a Sony processing or the Samsung processing, but it's not too far off. It is not too far off. And I really enjoyed watching TV on this. I really enjoyed it. Can't say that enough. Also, the menu system was very responsive. Yeah, it is Android TV. Not the greatest OS, but it's fast and it is quick to respond to you. So that is very nice to see. Overall, fix the gaming issues on this TV and I will recommend it all day because for the price, you're not going to find a better TV. You're just not. Oh yeah, if you guys pick this TV up from Amazon, make sure you use my links in the description below, or if you pick up anything at all from Amazon, use my description links. Also, stay tuned to this channel. There's going to be a ton of content coming up, so you're going to want to be subscribed for that. If you ever want to get in contact with me pretty easily, follow me on Instagram or Twitter. You can also leave any question you have for me in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. You guys have a great day, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.